Welcome back to the AWS studio. My name is Robbie Belson, and we're here at Mobile World Congress Barcelona. Even though we're here in Barcelona, we're about to take a trip a few thousand miles south to talk about a fascinating customer story with Amdocs and Mellon Digital around embracing SaaS and accelerating that time to value in just a matter of months. Let's start with a round of intros. Over to you, Calvin.
Thank you. I'm Calvin Collett, CEO of Mellon Mobile.
Yossi.
Hello, Yossi Elia. I'm the customer experience at Amdocs.
Want to tell us a little bit more about Mellon Mobile and your transformation journey?
Sure. So we actually started out as, so we run on MTN's network. We went out looking for a BSS, OSS, OCS solution. And interestingly enough, it's quite difficult to find a full end-to-end solution out in the market, and especially one that is cloud-based, SaaS native, etc. So, I mean, we must have met 20 different vendors, really struggled to find a solution that would provide us a full end-to-end view of the customer. And we came across Amdocs. They were right at the infancy of building their DBS, now called ConnectX product. And we just loved the fact that we could have an end-to-end solution, full single view of a customer, and there's so many things that go with that. So it's been a great journey with Amdocs, and especially with the fact that they met our needs from day one, and it was built from the ground up.
So I want to clarify the sequencing here, Yossi. When Calvin calls DBS, now called ConnectX, it's not built yet when he makes that first call, right?
So exactly, the point was that when Calvin started the discussion with us, we just been, I think, in 2 months of journey that we started to build a new, what it calls in the past DBS, and now it's ConnectX. We started to build it with a vision that we want to be full cloud native SaaS, to give the best customer experience in all the aspects to the end users, but that our customers as well will enjoy the journey with us, and it will be fast and easy. So we started to build this vision, and we were looking for the right customers to start with us, and that's the point that Calvin approached us. You know, at the beginning that we don't have everything ready yet, but we love the idea that he came with the ability to integrate quickly to MTN, and with the vision of the customer's experience, giving the best experience to his users. That was the vision from day one. So we saw an opportunity to build our product with the vision of Melon to give the best experience to their users, and that's the way we built the front end eventually.
I think this is the quintessential example of working backwards from a customer that I've ever seen. So from a timing perspective, Calvin, this was just a matter of months from ideation, that first phone call, to deployment, right?
I think it was great because we could literally sit in a room and we said, this is our vision and view. And they were like, well, this is our vision and view. And they just matched. So when we sat down and wanted to, specific journeys, specific things we wanted from the customer, app journeys, web journeys, etc., they were so aligned. So it really made the process, as you say, quick and agile, because there was no misalignment. From a vendor perspective, they knew what they wanted to build as a long-term thing. As a customer, we knew what we wanted to supply from a long-term perspective. So those two things matched, and that really makes a big difference when there's alignment between vendor and customer, because that's normally not the case.
Absolutely, and I'm just noticing that typically we might have this seat filled right next to us with someone from AWS to reflect on that journey of bringing together Amdocs and the solution that you developed with that transformation journey that Mellon's really embracing. So my question to you, Yossi, instead is, as you think about cloud partners when you built out ConnectX, why was AWS the right choice?
Because we want end-to-end, as Calvin wants end-to-end solution for his side, as a customer, to get everything in one box. So also, while our CTO started to think about the solution and how he is visioning it, he wants something that he can use in the entire services that have also a marketplace that you can use and utilize to build your ecosystem around the product. And we got also the entire support that we need that time from AWS in order to build it quick as we need. And the fact that we have all the services with one partner, I don't need to do any commercial agreement with third parties. That's a game changer comparing to any other sales I did in the past. This is the factor for everything.
Ease of use, TCO reduction, time to market.
Exactly.
Those are the benefits really driving that change. So from your perspective, how did you measure success here?
Well, I think to start with, running on AWS, we don't manage it at all. Amdocs manage that entire thing for us, which is completely the opposite normally. I mean, you normally need a whole team managing that specific infrastructure. We could hand that over, and we know that it's managed on a platform and infrastructure that we can trust. So that was the one side. Success for us was the ability to build out product and services that match our customers' needs in a quick and agile fashion. I think traditional BSS and telco solutions focus on what the solution can provide and not what the customer wants, right? We went and said, what does the customer want and require and need? We'll build that back. And that's ultimate success for us, is where our customer strategy and product strategy is not dependent on the solution, the underlying solution. So that's super important, and they've delivered that.
What do next steps look like? What is the vision over the next year or two look like? Is this helping you really embracing ConnectX? Is that really helping you scale your business?
Yeah, there's absolutely no doubt. I think the great thing for us is we've got international ambitions, so outside of South Africa, and being on AWS is very scalable, and it really allows us to connect into other markets that traditionally going into those markets without that, the knowledge that the platform and underlying software and architecture, etc., is completely scalable, movable, etc., would be extremely hard. And in fact, probably wouldn't have even gone down those roads. Whereas we can now say, look, we've done a great job here. Is this replicatable in X, Y, or Z markets? Yes, it is. Let's start going and looking at telco partners, MNO partners in those regions, and then how do we just copy paste this in crude terms.
So Yossi, based on what Calvin has shared, how are you taking those lessons learned into your overall strategy and vision for the product as a whole?
So, of course, we are looking on the entire markets and the different regulation in different regions. So that's the most thing that influence our product. Other than that, all the customers want the best experience. So all the customers want the best service. Everyone looking to have a quick implementations. And I think that we have already. So it just matter to adjust the product to the right region based on specific things that you need or specific requirements for the end users. But other than that, we are there almost.
We are there. I love that. Maybe I'll give the final word to you, Calvin, for organizations embracing SaaS for the first time who aren't sure what those benefits and opportunities might look like. What's some practical advice you might want to share with them?
I think the first thing is to understand your business model. I think a lot of telcos and MVNOs, etc., out there are still very dependent on their IT infrastructure. They want to control it, own it, etc. So are you willing to let go of that? That's the first decision you've got to make up front, is are you willing to let go of that? And if you are, you've got to let go of it in totality. And then focus on being a sales and marketing organization. And I think going forward, that's what telco should focus on, is sales, customer service, and marketing. I mean, customer service being number one. I think is one thing telcos get extremely wrong. I mean, we can look at NPS scores across the world. It's not a South African or American or UK thing. NPS scores typically are terrible. And I think that telcos need to embrace those areas and leave the technology to third-party players, is my view. And so the advice there is apply your mind to what do you actually want to do and as a business, because we get so caught up in the fact that we want to own the technology, we're too scared to let those parts go. But are they actually adding any value to your business longer term? And typically they don't.
Fantastic insights discussed here today. I wanted to congratulate you again on the tremendous win of embracing SaaS, the time to market. Really, really great to hear. And hope to see both of you at MWC next year.
Great, thank you very much.